Hello, welcome back. I'm Ron Mullet. In this video, I'm going to repair this wobbly antique dressing table. The joinery has come loose and the drawer will hardly slide. I'll show you how I build new drawer runners and slides and install those. I'll also show you how I get this loose joinery apart without damaging anything. But if you stick around, you'll also see where I made a big mistake. I damaged the finish on this, but I'll show you how I repaired it and it's good as new. So let's get started. Just as a disclaimer to start this video, I am not by any means a professional furniture repair person. No, I've repaired some furniture. I enjoy it. I like to see how old antique furniture was built, the craftsmanship of it, and I can just kind of sense the craftsman's hands working on this thing. Having said all that, I've taken the marble tops off here and on here. This thing has two drawers here, small ones. It has one large drawer here, and the runners are pretty bad, and it has a lot of wobble. This joinery at these corners is really bad. So I'm going to take it apart as much as I need to. I don't know how far that will be to get to this loose joinery and see where it goes from here. So stick around. Let's take a quick look at these two assemblies right here, these small drawers. These two assemblies are handmade dovetails front and back. The drawers are hand-cut dovetails front and back. Another indicator that this is all handmade is that these two drawers will not interchange. They won't go closed, and this one won't even go in. So this was not made by a machine, which I think is cool. A quick look at the main drawer. It's also hand-cut dovetails. You can see the scribe line, front and rear. The bottom and the sides look like oak to me. The front of this and the rest of it, it appears to me to be mahogany because it has this reversing grain that is quite consistent with mahogany. This carving on the front and all the legs and everything, I don't know this for sure, I'm guessing, but from what I can see, there's a lot of little marks in here, and the details on both sides are not the same, so like it wasn't made with some kind of a machine. So I'm guessing that this is hand carved. I'm only guessing. Take a wedge, I don't want to use anything metal in there. It'll damage the wood, so I made a wedge out of oak here. Maybe this will get it without breaking anything. Yeah, that's good. It's not damaging the wood, so. All right, let's see if we can get this whole thing off of here. Oh, that's easy. There we go. That's what I like. What do we got here? Nice big old fat dowels. The wood's not split, that's good. This wood looks in pretty good shape. This is the drawer runner right here, so I'm going to have to see if I can do something about that. This is completely worn down, almost worn clear through here, so see what happens. Next, I need to take this drawer runner off of this piece that I've just removed. I've established the fact that it is held together with hide glue, and I can dissolve that with heat and steam. So I borrowed my wife's steamer. I'm going to try to get enough into this seam across here and then I'll use some wedges to try to get it apart. So we'll see how this goes. Wow! All right. You see how I just loosened this glue up here enough to separate it? Well, I'm happy about that. Well, that other one came off so easy. I'm going to try to get this one off. I have to be a little more aggressive on this one probably because this one is really solid and it's still got the end pieces and it's glued in there. So we'll see what happens. Well, I was able to get this one off. Had to be a little more aggressive. Kind of broke some of the wood here, but I can clean this up all along here, take all the old glue off and put a whole new slide in here. You can see how this is worn. To get all the old glue off, I'll sand all of this part here, but in these holes, I can't get in there with sandpaper, so I've got a 5/8 inch Forstner bit. What I'm going to do is run it backwards into the hole and then work it in and out, turn it around, run it forward, and work it in and out just to get all that glue out of there. Now I really haven't made the hole any larger. I've just cleaned out the glue that was in there. I used the steamer to loosen all the glue on this end and on the dowels, so I'm ready to glue this back together. But in the process of using all that moisture and the steam, I caused myself a big problem. It got under the finish on this end and this end. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with this. My solution is equal part olive oil and distilled vinegar. Put them in this container, and I'll take a little cotton rag and start working. On the chemical level, I really don't know what's going on here, but all I know is that it works. We'll wipe that off and see what it looks like here. It looks pretty good to me. This is what it looked like before. It's all gone. It didn't damage the finish at all. The finish is still there, didn't touch it. So I'm pleased with that. Vinegar and olive oil. If you have a big white stain from a hot coffee cup on your table, try that first. Now it's time to start reassembly. This piece is finished, ready to go in. We made new drawer slides, drawer runners to match the old ones. I'm going to wait until I have this assembled before I install these so that I can get them exactly in the right location. So let's start gluing this up. I put wax paper under this so it doesn't get glued to the bench. I'm going to use 2-part epoxy because these have worn so much that I just don't think the regular glue is going to fill the gap as well as epoxy. This is 5-minute epoxy, so yeah, I need to hurry. I found that these parallel clamps on this particular situation will work the best because I've got rounded fronts. The back is flat and it won't damage the carvings at all. All right, we'll just let that cook. To cut the bottom of this drawer side off, here I put a straight edge on here, and I'm going to use this Japanese saw. I can lay flat on here and hopefully it'll make a good clean cut. So while this glue is drying, I decided to take this lock out. This is definitely a handmade lock. See these little rivets that go through here. This edge is filed by hand. It's real uneven. If anybody out there knows, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I have the drawer runners and the side guides installed. And they're glued, and I add a couple screws. They're made out of white oak, so they're never going to wear out. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. This thing is rock solid. The drawer slides easy. If you have any thoughts on how old you think this piece may be, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out my other videos in these playlists. Until the next time, enjoy your woodworking.